I like to make these videos every once in a while so that you can see while Winston-Salem, yes, it is a little bit of a smaller city, there are still a lot of exciting things going on. And in a time where cities, are losing people or they're just kind of stagnating or floundering, it's great to be part of a community where there still really is some growth and things are progressing and things are just kind of moving forward, even in spite of what you might hear throughout the country. But the other reason I like to do these is to really kind of help tie them into the market updates that I do. So, real estate, as we say time and time again, it's all extremely local. But when you start to see on our market updates why our prices, yes, are stable, but they're still slowly increasing. We hear about price declines through lots of other parts of the country, right? That's just not been the case here right now. Or our list to sales price ratio is still at or right near 100%, again, when others are declining. Or even though we have inventory increasing, we're still in a relatively short inventory housing market here in Winston-Salem. So we're going to talk about businesses coming to and expanding in the area. We're going to talk about some developments that are not real estate related, that are retail, office, and hotel related. Of course, we're going to talk about some housing as well. And maybe you're going to be like a client that watched one of these a couple years ago where I was talking about some coming soon businesses to the area. You decide to check out one of those companies. You get a good job at that company. You decide to buy a new house and sell one, and it ended up being a great move for you and your family. Maybe that will be you as well. And if you need help buying or selling real estate, my contact information is on the screen and in the description below with a link to my Google reviews. And speaking of Zeelaveg, this is the company I talked about just about 2 years ago. They were coming to the area. They had a facility in the Greensboro area. Things have gone really well for them. They're a large company, but they had their best year ever in 2023, and they just had a grand opening for the brand new facility in Winston-Salem, built from the ground up. And the facility that they built in Winston-Salem is actually 4 times the size of their previous facility. And like I said, they just had the grand opening of that facility, so they're going to be just moving in. I believe it's actually officially towards the end of September sometime, but the facility is done. With that move, they invested over $100 million in the area, and they anticipate adding about 600 new jobs to the area with the potential of up to 1,000 jobs. So great news for a company that just came to the Triad a couple years ago and is already seeing growth and expansion, and good news for local residents. In other business news, my favorite hospital name to pronounce, Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist, announced plans for a $53 million eye surgery center right in Innovation Quarter 2. And those plans, they announced them a little while ago, but they're really just finalizing some things right now, and they're really finally starting to come together. This should be a really nice anchor facility in Innovation Quarter 2, with total costs estimated at a little bit over $100 million. It's going to have surgery rooms and rooms for everything from post-op recovery to more simple LASIK procedures to more advanced eye surgery procedures as well. And this should just be a really great fit into the overall mix of Innovation Quarter with its focus on medical technology and kind of cutting edge business. This should be a great addition to that area as Innovation Quarter 2 continues to develop. Also in Innovation Quarter, ProKidney announced that they're finally ready to resume manufacturing after some delays related to the ability to supply therapeutics for their trials. And they have announced an almost $500 million total investment between its headquarters in Winston-Salem and new facility in Greensboro. And between the two locations, that should be well over 400 jobs. And a lot of those jobs should be really good, high-paying jobs in the regenerative medicine field, which is really starting to get cemented as Winston-Salem being at the forefront of that. We spoke briefly on one of these before about Winston-Salem having some of the highest amount of life sciences, facilities under construction in the entire country. This is going to be a great fit into that overall picture and really speaks well for the future of regenerative medicine in Winston-Salem. ProKidney is absolutely at the forefront of some of these things, along with, Wake Forest and things like that. It's going to just continue to cement this as a hotspot for regenerative medicine through the future. And I have a couple clients that relocated from other parts of the country that are now working at ProKidney that really tell me how much they like it there. So it's good to have not only, a quality company, but one that people really seem to like working at as well. And these are just a few of the bigger developments that are going on in Winston-Salem right now. We have a produce wholesaler and distributor that's going to be adding over 300 jobs to the area with a brand new facility in Winston-Salem as well. Nucor Steel announced that they're expanding again down in Davidson County and others, but this is just a good idea of what's going on overall in the business and job sector right now in Winston-Salem. All these stories are within about the last 2 or 3 weeks of me recording this. In other development news, and a really exciting over 100 acre redevelopment project kind of near Wake Forest, where they play their games at Winston-Salem Fairgrounds in that general area. Over 100 acre redevelopment project that was announced is finally set a date to break ground. It also has a name. It's going to be called The Grounds. If you want, you can check them out on Instagram at Visit the Grounds, but it looks like this is going to be a really, really cool space and something that Winston-Salem, not only the area, the city, but this area in general really could use this type of redevelopment. They finally scheduled to break ground on December 1st, and phase one is going to have over 100,000 square feet of office space. It's going to have 40,000 square feet of retail and restaurant space. It will have 240 residential units and also a separate either hotel or a condo hotel. And again, that's just in phase one. And this area over here, like I said, is a little over 100 acres, so plenty of space to really do some cool things over there. I'm super excited to see how this develops. This is partnered not only with local Winston-Salem firms, but national firms as well, where they've done some really cool redevelopment projects kind of near, similar locations throughout the country, and they've come out really, really beautiful. Kind of near a sports stadium and things like that, where the area was just needed some freshening up and redevelopment. The projects turned out great, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen over here off of University Parkway in this space over the coming months and years. Moving on to kind of some housing news. National builder Lennar has purchased over 100 lots on the far west side of Winston-Salem, right near the Winston-Salem-Louisville border. The name is Reynolds Crossing, and it should be in really desirable because it's going to be in a really highly desirable school district, but also the price point is highly desirable as well. Homes there are going to start in the high 3s and low 4s. So that's kind of on the west edge. If we go kind of just north of there, up near Bethania, national home builder also Pulte is going to build about 600 houses in a huge development. This is going to be on over 240 acres near Bethania Park. The development is going to be called Bethania Forest. And actually, as a larger relocation agent in the area, some might say number one, the best. I actually spent some time earlier in the year talking to some representatives about Pulte when they were still just kind of in the consideration phase of this project. And I got the impression that this was going to be a 55 plus community with prices starting in like kind of the mid 300s at 325 to 350 range and kind of going up from there. I don't think they've announced any of that yet, but again, I did spend some time talking to them, a couple hours discussing kind of needs for the community and what people might want, prices they want to pay, features they like, and things like that. Both stay tuned. That has been announced and approved. So again, over 600 homes on 240 acres, just in a really nice location towards the north side of Winston-Salem. Then if we head just down to the south, kind of near the Atwood area in South Winston-Salem, near Clemens, True Homes is building a combination of 230 single family and townhomes in there. This is a really nice location. It's going to be right off of Stratford Road. I'm totally blanking on the name right now, but they haven't even broke ground or cleared the land. So this one is going to be a little bit further away, but there is some housing coming down that way towards Clemens as well. Also in South Winston, Leoterra, they were originally going to build some townhouses down there. They've changed that to another development of about 100 houses that are going to be down there. They decided just the best kind of use for the land was single family homes versus townhomes, so they've switched that. We talked about that development a little while ago, but that's getting underway as well. And these are just some of the, the larger, 100 plus home developments that are going on right now. Something to keep in mind in Winston-Salem, we don't have like the really giant master plan communities like so many other places do. So these are some of what will be larger developments here, but there are plenty of other ones that are going to be, in that 20 or 30 kind of little neighborhood subdivision range that are different builders, different price points, and different locations all throughout the area. But these are just some of the larger ones just to kind of mention, because as we talk on the market updates, inventory is always, a pressing concern. We just don't have enough homes here. It is good to start seeing more and more of these get built. If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate anywhere in the Winston-Salem area, I'd love to be a resource for you. You can reach out to me directly at jeff@govalentino.com. Thanks.